I'm Viviane Mehr, and I'm really excited to be here today with Jillian Ross. And we are in the beautiful Griffin Art Project's gallery space in North Vancouver, Canada, and surrounded by the incredible print work of South African artist William Kentridge. Jillian, for many years now, would it be 16 years, 17 years in total?
Since 2006.
Since 2006, has been working side by side really with William Kentridge in the David Kroot workshops in Johannesburg, South Africa, creating his beautiful print works. Jillian and I first met in 2016. She, however, was born in Edmonton, as I was, and did her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree at the University of Saskatchewan in Saskatoon, and went on to eventually move to South Africa. How did that happen?
In the final years of completing my Bachelor of Fine Arts at the University of Saskatchewan, I started to travel quite extensively. On one of those travels to Scotland, to Edinburgh, of all places, I met my husband, who's a South African. And a number of years later, he spent some time in Canada with me in Saskatoon as I completed my degree. And we spent a year after that in Taiwan. And then we went to spend 2 years in Johannesburg, where he grew up, so that I could be immersed in where he came from, meet his family. And we just fell in love not only with the place, but with the work that we eventually found. Quite quickly, actually, after arriving to Johannesburg, I started working at the David Kroot workshop. 3 weeks later.
3 weeks after you landed in Johannesburg, and what was meant to be a 2-year trip turned into quite a legacy. Yes, and now it continues. Yes. So you did your Bachelor of Fine Arts, but when you started working at the David Kroot workshop, you were not actually a printmaker at that point.
I wasn't.
So talk to me a little bit about that passage.
Printmaking is a very technical medium. But once I started working alongside artists who would come in with an idea of a project, it was almost like a door opened. And it just, each and every single step along the paths of my career, working with a variety of artists, and most importantly with William, so many doors just opened. So many avenues to pursue in printmaking alone just became wonderfully interesting. And I've been immersed in that environment now for almost 20 years with no aim to stop.
And you know, my gallery, VivianeArt, in Calgary, mentorship is really important to me. And it's why I choose to mostly represent emerging and mid-career artists, is because I love building careers, I love mentoring. It's part of my build. You had a pretty phenomenal mentor for this print work that you've grown into becoming an amazing printmaker. And William was in part teacher as well as friend. Can you talk a little bit about William? I know that's a big subject, but for someone who might be listening to this who doesn't even know who William is, can you give me the elevator blast?
The first project I worked on with William, I'd been the head printer at David Kroot workshop for approximately 6 months. I'd been working in the studio for 3 years. William has an absolute understanding of every technical process he works in, and then he's absolutely experimental in every process in which he works. The rules are there, but they're also meant to be broken. He's very playful. Working side by side, you just start to develop a language, a communication style that has everything to do with the art making and a trust between each other. And William is very caring, very open, allows quite a number of people a way to communicate not only their ideas, but to expand on them. And as you're watching how he works, you in turn start to work in the same manner. You invite mistakes in, and you're playful with them. You invite other people into the project so that you can nurture and grow and mentor other printmakers, other young artists. And when William comes into the studio, he not only engages with the printmakers that are there, but also with the young artists that are present.
Can we just touch on the content of the work? Because you worked on the Nose series with him, you worked on the Universal Archive series with him, and most recently, and the cornerstone piece of this exhibition, is a large woodcut print.
The Triumphs of the Men series is a series of woodcuts that are just under 2 meters in height. And the largest work, titled Refugees, that's here at Griffin Art Projects now, is approximately 3.5 meters long. It's made up of 77 sheets of paper. So as we started to develop the series in 2016, William was working on it is so hard to describe, and sometimes you actually just need a photograph of what it was, but between 2 bridges along a 550-meter wall along the Tiber River, a stone wall, he erected a series of approximately 55 drawings. And these drawings are done in a process called reverse graffiti, where a stencil is placed on the wall and then the wall is washed clean with a pressure hose. And what happens is that these stencils are tracings almost of charcoal drawings of which he created. And then after seeing the stencil of how large the drawings along the Tiber River were going to be at 12 meters high, how do you make a series of small works? And then the problem with creating large works, especially in printmaking, is how do they travel? And how do you make something large? And so what we did was we made them from a series of pieces, thinking maybe almost naively that it would be really simple to actually transport the works. And so along that route, I also realized, oh, well, we need instructions manuals so that we can place them together when you receive the works overseas. But we thought the works would be 9 pieces of paper. And what, through one mistake that was made in the studio and us trying to fix the mistake, we collaged something onto the wall, and William came in and responded and said, oh, I can collage a number of things onto this piece, can't I? Which then developed into the series, actually. Instead of it being 9 pieces, it became 21 pieces on the very first woodcuts, eventually leading up to 77 pieces.
The largest has 77 pieces.
77.
So Refugees, the large woodcut piece that's in this exhibition, how long did it take you to assemble it for its framing?
There are 19 people that have worked on the project. There's a map that comes with the piece. In Johannesburg, there's a team of 6 of us that were printing it and tearing them up, all of these little parts. It took us, I think, 4 months to carve all of the pieces. And then it has taken that team in Johannesburg, since I've been in Canada, over 1.5 years to edition all 6 works in full. And when I was at Griffin Art Projects, just tearing up the one piece, Refugees, it took me over a month to tear up every individual piece and to put it together in the studio, ready to be placed within the frame.
So I'm really excited to have you and to have some of these beautiful works travel to Calgary soon for an exhibition in my gallery at VivianeArt. It's going to be amazing to have you there, and really amazing to live with some of William's work and have it resonate in my soul each and every day. And I hope lots of people get to see it.